Minimalism is a radical idea. It's the idea that you don't have to wait to be happy. Matt D'Avella. I'm sure many of you know Matt's work. He has millions of subscribers on his YouTube channel, and his focus on simple, powerful cinematics has garnered so much success in not only his channel, but also his personal brand. And I've always been a fan of Matt's content and the way that he approaches communication from a cinematic point of view, which is exactly why in this week's episode of MasterTalk, I'm going to be teaching you how to present like Matt D'Avella. So let's get into it. Number one, the power of your ideas lies in the details of how you communicate them. What makes Matt unique is not his lifestyle. Nobody watches him for the suits or the fancy Lamborghinis and Ferraris or just the lavish lifestyle that he has. It's actually quite the opposite. Matt has a pretty boring life. He's got an amazing girlfriend / wife in a pretty simple apartment, pretty much eats the same thing every day. It's not very exciting. Yet, why is every single person glued to their seat whenever they watch a Matt D'Avella video? The reason is the way in how he narrates his boring life. It's almost like his documentaries, which is his YouTube videos, are as boring as they are exciting. From the moment he wakes up, to the moment he drinks coffee, to the shower he takes, to the food that he eats, every moment of every day is captured in so much detail that you're just watching every moment, from the sound effect to the way that he communicates and narrates that story. And that in and of itself is a lesson. And the lesson is simple. Whenever you think about the ideas you want to share, don't just focus on the practicality of that advice. Focus on the emotion, the moment, the way that it's being shared, so that over time, people feel that whenever they listen to you, they're listening to a movie that's never going to end. And that is the secret. How do you make the way that you communicate so simple and effective that people always want to pay attention whenever you're speaking? And that's what Matt has done masterfully from a cinematic perspective. Number two, understanding your audience helps you focus on the right things for the right people. What you'll notice about Matt's videos is he doesn't really change things up. His life is fairly simple. His videos are relatively the same. They're always about habits or his life or his personal vlogs. And he doesn't switch things up. Almost all of them are in his apartment with his wife. They're just hanging out during the day, and he's teaching you a lesson. But there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. When he started the YouTube channel, actually several years before that gave him the idea for it, he filmed a documentary called Minimalism with two individuals named Matt and Joshua. And during that journey, and these documentaries are available on Netflix that you can check out, he learned about this amazing movement called minimalism. And what this is how do you live a vicarious life, an amazing life with less things? But when he looked at the YouTube landscape, no one was really focused on minimalism content for a community who wants to live with less, who wants to live more simply. And that was the spark for Matt's YouTube channel, since the other two individuals didn't actually really want to make YouTube videos on the subject. And it was through those ideas that led to what Matt ended up doing and becoming on his YouTube channel. So he never deviated from his focus. My content is for people who want to be minimalists. My content is for people who want the simple life, who want to live life in simple terms, who aren't looking to buy a Bugatti or a big house. And because he's never lost focus, his audience is extremely loyal to him because he's attracting the right people. So whenever you think about your audience and your message, always go back to, why am I creating this in the first place? And who's it for? Because it's for everyone. It's likely for nobody. So focus on who it's for, why it's for them, how they'll benefit, and put all your focus on making those people fall in love with you, and you'll amass incredible amounts of success with their message. And finally, number three, stories create experiences that stick, and that makes us want to watch the videos. What's fascinating about Matt, and of course incredibly amazing about his videos, is the art of storytelling. He's able to storyboard from the beginning that he starts all the way to the end so that his slice of life videos, in other words, the moment of life that he's filming, is so perfectly crafted from the first moment he starts all the way till the end. But here's the secret behind storytelling, is that Matt thinks intentionally about how he wants that video to go before everything starts. So he has general arcs. I want to start here, I'm going to go there, I want this to happen. And then as he's able to build that from scratch and put them in the right order, he develops a skill over time on how to storyboard well through video. It's not something you get overnight, but rather over time. Same thing with Casey Neistat. He has an incredible quote that says, "The best type of editing is invisible. You never notice it. It's just a cinematography where it just keeps going from frame to frame, and you don't notice all those changes. The only thing you notice is the end of the video because you're so glued to your seat that you don't even realize that 10 minutes passed by." That's the secret to storytelling. But I will say that storytelling is not an easy skill to master. So what's an easy thing you could do to get started? What I recommend is the next time you present, whether it's through video or a presentation, just ask yourself a simple question. What do I want my audience to take away from this video? And how can I communicate that idea in a way that gets them excited about my message? If you just answer those simple questions, you can take a step back and say, wait a second. If my goal is to communicate this, let me try this analogy. Let me try this example. Let me try this frame. And over time, as you experiment like a mad scientist, which I'm sure Matt Develling but Casey Neistat both have tried hundreds of different variations as they edit videos and they try different things, they're able to find the perfect analogy, the perfect story, the right way of telling that message. And I encourage all of you to start implementing storytelling one chapter at a time. Minimalism is a radical idea. It's this idea that you don't have to wait to be happy. I love Matt's quote here because Matt embodies so much more than just creating videos on a platform like YouTube. He's an embodiment of staying true to your message, being consistent with the way that you show up. Because when you understand your audience and what they actually want, you won't deviate from your focus, especially if it takes a lot more time to get there. And what's great about Matt is he didn't take that shortcut. He didn't go after the viral video. He went after the core message and presented that message over time until the world listened to him. And that is the secret on how to present like Matt D'Avella. Stay true to your message, and eventually your message will find those that need to hear it. As always, if you enjoyed this week's episode of MasterTalk, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well to see more videos like this. And if you know one person that's a fan of Matt's work, be sure to send them this video so that they'll be one step closer to mastering their talk. Take care, everyone, and see you next time.